This is the September 22nd, 2015 Ogden City Redevelopment Agency special meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all board members are present. And pursuant to Section 52-4-207, Vice Chair White is attending with us electronically, and you just heard from her as she answered the phone. We will ask Board Member Blair if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please join us now for a moment of silence. Thank you. We now have approval of minutes, minutes of the special meeting and work session of July 28th, 2015. Board Member Blair.
Yes, thank you, Chair Heyer. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate, and I would make a motion that we adopt those minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Blair, second by Board Member Garner to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, next we have public hearing concerning the Kiesel Community Development Project area. And we will hear from Brandon Cooper. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for your time tonight, Chair Heyer, members of the board. The proposal before you is regarding the Kiesel Community Development Project Area Plan and has two components that I'll discuss together and then answer questions after both discussions. The first component is Resolution 2015-12, which approves and adopts the draft Community Development Project Area Plan, and proposed Resolution 2015-14 is approving an interlocal agreement between the redevelopment agency and the city. As you know, Section 17C of the Utah State Code governs the creation of community development areas. It's generally an 11-step process. Those steps include adopting a resolution authorizing the preparation of a plan, which occurred previously. It also includes the actual drafting of a plan and making that draft available to the public for comment. And then, as we're doing tonight, holding a public hearing to allow public comment to be heard, and then making a decision based on that public comment to revise, approve, or reject the plan. So as just a reminder, this is the boundary of the Kiesel Community Development Project area. You'll notice that 24th Street is in the middle here. It goes to 23rd and to the backside of 25th Street. The purpose of the Community Development Project area and the associated plan is to bring about the purposeful redevelopment of key locations in this area. Those locations include, but are not limited to, areas over on the Kiesel block, including the Kiesel building, associated parking that goes with it. There's other historic buildings on that block that are significant and can be contributing with a little bit of assistance with public finance. In addition to that area, there's an area on this block with some historic buildings that are currently unoccupied, but can be significantly contributing into the fabric of the downtown. We also have some other parking that we'd like to look at. On this end of the block, we have some historic but unproductive buildings along walls. So we feel that this area has been kind of not ignored, but definitely forgotten. And we feel that there's some opportunity here with some assistance and with some attention to generate some private investment and to bring about jobs and historic renovation and attracting businesses to this area. So as you know, we have made the draft plan available. We've received no public comments. We have received some questions and some phone calls just for clarification, but there has been no request for revisions or suggested changes. We have done some minor drafting and grammatical revisions to the final plan that you have in your packet that shows as the final plan, but there is no substantive revisions at all. So the proposal there and the recommendation there is to approve the community development project area plan for the Kiesel Community Development Area as you have it in your packet.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
For Mr. Cooper?
What were some of those clarifications you had to address?
Property owners are always concerned about what a project area designation does for their project in terms of, does it increase taxes? Does it allow the city to come in and condemn my property? In this case, there is no eminent domain available for a community development project area, so that's not part of what's being proposed in the final plan. And taxes do not change in any way based on the designation of a community plan. By designating the area and approving a plan, the taxes that are normally paid are diverted from the other taxing entities to the agency for the purpose of reusing in that designated area for development and infrastructure and other things that are stated in the plan.
It doesn't harm the other tax entities then?
When you create an area such as this, you freeze the base, so the taxable value of this property in this designated area is roughly $21 million. So that amount is frozen, and the taxing entities continue to receive that amount for the period of the designated area. Through interlocal agreement, the agency then has the ability to negotiate the tax sharing between the entities, and that's when those other entities agree to give up any incremental tax increase to the agency. And that's a segue actually into the next part of this discussion, and that is the interlocal agreement between the agency and the city. This is that document that basically conveys the incremental tax increase that the city would otherwise receive in this project area, and it would convey by agreement that increment to the agency for a period of 20 years. That period is not by accident. It's a period that was calculated based on the amount of investment we would like to see in this area, the projects that are listed in the plan and those that I've described briefly, and the amount of money that we feel that is going to be necessary to generate the incremental values that we'd like to see here. So in terms of proposed resolution 2015-14, that interlocal agreement, again, is between the agency and the city for a period of 20 years with a tax increment contribution of $2.2 million maximum. What that means is that if that amount was reached sometime within that 20-year period, then tax revenue beyond that $2.2 million would then inure back to the city. So that would be the maximum amount the city would be contributing within that 20-year period. So those are the two proposed resolutions in front of you. Again, 2015-12, adopting the community development plan as final, and then 2015-14, approving the interlocal agreement between the agency and the city. Any final questions?
Any questions for Mr. Cooper?
Maybe just one quick one. So there's a cap for the city. What about the other taxing entity partners? Are they included in that cap?
They would also have a cap that is part of their interlocal agreement between the agency and that entity. So currently we're negotiating two other agreements, and they both will have caps as well.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing, and if you have comments about this proposal, now would be the time to come forward. I Doesn't look like there is
See
any.
movement. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion by Board Member Gochner, seconded by Board Member Garner to close the public hearing. All in favor? Aye. Are there any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Vice Chair White. I forgot to wait for you again. Sorry.
If there's no further discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2015-12.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Gochner, seconded by Board Member Garner, to adopt proposed resolution 2015-12. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Blair?
Aye.
Board Member Garner?
Aye.
Board Member Gochner?
Aye.
Board Member Stevens?
Aye.
Board Member Wicks?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Heyer?
Aye. Okay, that passes. Now do we have a motion on resolution 2015-14?
I will make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2015-14 for the interlocal agreement.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Blair, to adopt resolution 2015-14. This also is a roll call vote.
Board Member Garner?
Aye.
Board Member Gochner?
Aye.
Board Member Stevens?
Aye.
Board Member Wicks?
Aye.
Board Member Blair?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Heyer?
Aye. That also passes. Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, which is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the board regarding your concerns or ideas for the Ogden Redevelopment Agency. Please state your name and address clearly for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing no movement, we'll move on to comments from our RDA Executive Director
Nothing at this time, thank you.
and board members.
Just a thank you to Brandon for his hard work on this, and we look forward to really seeing a lot of good things here.
And I will say, I personally think we have too many redevelopment agencies in the city, but this is something where I think we've struggled with what to do with that for a long time. It's some significant historic buildings in our city, and I'd like to see something happen. So
Okay,
that's the sole reason why I support it.
thank you. Any other comments?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Gochner, second by Board Member Blair to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Just as a reminder, there will be a city council meeting held immediately following this meeting. It will be followed by a city council work session. And the items to be discussed will be on those agendas.